Widely regarded as one of the greatest defenders in world football, a huge player with bags of ability and confidence. At one point in his career, it was impossible to dribble past him, literally. This is the life and career of one of the most solid, well-respected players of this generation. When you think about Premier League centre backs, there are many greats that come to mind. For example, John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Sol Campbell, Martin Keough. We've been blessed with some great names over the years, but one player who has really shone over in the last decade is Virgil Van Dijk. In his career, he's been extremely impressive and has been a nightmare for even the best attackers in the world. Many forwards describe him as being one of the best defenders that they have ever played against. He is truly magical to watch. That is why we've decided to dedicate this video to celebrate the insane life and career of the Dutch monster that is Virgil van Dijk. Let's take it back to the beginning. Born in the Netherlands in 1991, Van Dijk loved football, but he had some hard times growing up. In fact, a lot of coaches would write him off for being too slow, and he actually spent a lot of time in the hospital as a child. Although Virgil did manage to recover from his medical problems, he still has the scars on his lower abdomen, but he's perfectly fine now. He was told many times that as a child, he would never be physically fit to play professional football. And if it wasn't for Virgil digging deep and carrying on pursuing his dreams, maybe he would have just given up. His hometown's football team, Berta, didn't want him. And if it wasn't for a team 250 kilometers away taking interest in him, he would have maybe given up. Being as determined he was to make this dream happen, Virgil decided to take the risk, and he would travel every day to this new team, Groningen. When he first joined, he struggled to get any game time and found it hard to break into the team. This is when he would make his debut, wearing the number 48, and he was desperate to succeed. And after he made an impressive first few games, that's when people started to realize Van Dijk's true potential. He actually scored a brace in his first start, which was a European playoff match. His first season in the Dutch league saw him make 23 appearances. Something extremely unexpected soon happened when he turned 20. He was rushed to hospital with kidney poisoning, and he was in fact very close to dying. The hospital even made him sign some sort of will in case he did. After making a successful recovery from his illness, Van Dijk decided it was time to step up his game. He began to put in the extra work and soon realized he was too good for his current division. He was making a name for himself in football, and at this point, Ajax had the opportunity to sign him, but they decided they didn't want him. If this would have happened, things would have been very different. Instead, he arrived at Celtic for a fee of around £2 million. This was a perfect move for Van Dijk. He could gain valuable experience in a very tough, physical league, and would also get the chance to be fighting for trophies and winning silverware. In his first season at Celtic, he won the league. He was involved in the Scottish Team of the Year and was also nominated for Players' Player of the Year. In the season that followed, Van Dijk was defending the title, and throughout the season, it was clear to see he was too good for this league. That is when, on the final day of the transfer window, Southampton picked Van Dijk up and signed him for £13 million. An absolute steal if you think about it. He was the most expensive Dutch defender since Jaap Stam. After his first season in the Premier League, he impressed everyone, and it was clear that he had a bright future in football. Naturally, he wanted to move clubs. So just after one season of joining Southampton, he put in a transfer request. He knew he had extreme potential, and he could do a lot better than Southampton. He thought he was meant to be at a top Premier League club. The transfer request was granted, and about 6 months later, in December of 2017, it was announced that Virgil van Dijk was to join English giants Liverpool. He joined for a whopping £75 million, and in fact, Celtic would receive a 10% bonus for the fee. This was just incredible business by Southampton. On his debut, he scored a late winner against local rivals Everton. This single game marked the significance that Van Dijk would have for Liverpool Football Club. Since that day, Van Dijk has conquered the world with Liverpool, and there is little he hasn't won. He managed to cement himself as one of the greatest defenders to ever live, and certainly in his prime, he was absolutely unstoppable. He even finished runner-up in the Ballon d'Or behind Lionel Messi. Now, as of present day, Van Dijk's fallen off a bit because of injuries, but I truly think if he works hard like he always does his whole life, he can maybe get a bit of influence back. It's no secret that Van Dijk is a legend in football, and his career so far has been absolutely stellar. That's why I think Van Dijk is one of the greatest defenders in football history.